Ah, there you are. Not many of these old housing estates left now. Been a lot of rebuilding. Low-rise, grass, pathways. That's what they like today. Lets people get out and roam around. The old ideas, the cities in the sky, the old tower blocks, they've gone right out of fashion. They used to say there were some people who lived in the old towers who never got out. Places like this. Some people shouldn't have been there at all. Or maybe they should. Maybe they've always been there. In the towers. Waiting. Places don't change. Oh, the things we build on them, they rise and they fall and they rise again, but the landscape and its mysteries stays the same. And its call is the same. And those of you who hear the call of the old wild places, perhaps you're the same too. Perhaps forever is waiting somewhere for you too. Oh, hello. Stocking up on the painkillers, I see. I get terrible headaches too. Quite disabling. Makes you wonder what goes on up there. I knew a woman once. Great woman. Funny, charming and intelligent. She was into brains, unlocking all their mysteries, how they work, why they do what they do. If she'd gone on to finish what she'd started, things like Alzheimer's would have been history. It was all about manipulating the senses, you see, to light up those lost parts of the mind. She worked out it was all about sound. Get the right sound and everything would come flooding back. Don't go yet. First, let me tell you about the brilliant Professor Maggie Shaw. It all began after a long, heavy day of research and audio therapy. It was late. The hospital car park was dark and cold. They removed her memories and gave her brand new ones. They gave her new hair, a new nose, new chin, even new breasts. All her achievements wiped out with a burst of sound and a cut of the knife. Now the woman who is in line for a Nobel Prize is working on something quite different. Just over there, look. You see?
That'll be £15.07, please.
There you are. Has anyone ever told you you have the most beautiful smile?
And to think she was on the verge of understanding just exactly how the human mind works. For all the good it would have done her. Oh, hello. Starts getting dark early this time of year, doesn't it? Let me hold that gate for you. What a view, eh? Looks tranquil, doesn't it? Charming. Sheep and the odd hare grazing in the twilight. What could be less threatening? Those spiny fingers are just gnarled trees in the rising moon. The village hasn't been snatched away. It's safely concealed under a blanket of mist. Any darker thoughts are the product of an overactive imagination. We fear madness. We cling to reason, distrusting imagination, and yet, maybe in this half-light, where everything seems to be something else, we are seeing things as they really are. Sorry, you're shivering. I don't mean to keep you. But I remember a young couple. They came here from the city in search of the eco-dream in a rural paradise. What could go wrong? There are few hoodies stalking the green hills. Mugging is rare, and the toxic touch of office politics counts for nothing among the flocks of sheep. So they arrived, searching out a green and wholesome new life. In paradise. It's so good to get away from the bright lights of the city, isn't it? There's something about the light of the moon and the mischief of the mist that edges reason towards imagination. But maybe in those indeterminate moments, when everything seems to be something else, we actually see things as they really are. Anyway, enjoy your walk. Take care. Ah, hello. I know I'm not the easiest man in the world to find. Mind those boxes. I've only got this place for a couple of days. Pull up a seat and listen to this. They say the medium is the message, and I take the point as far as that goes. Looking forward to seeing you soon is harmless enough on a postcard or in an email. Scrawled on your bathroom mirror in the middle of the night, it means something very different. Your little son and daughter send their love. Nice words to read, unless they're spelled out in letters cut from old newspapers. The medium in this case is a cassette tape. There's a certain irony in that, and also, as you'll see, a certain inevitability. Stories sometimes have to travel a long way to find me. This one had to travel blind. If only people took the time to read the terms and conditions. I only intervene when the story needs a little help, a little nudge to find its ending. This one seems all right to me. Some ambiguity here and there, but I can live with that. File under self-inflicted wounds. Move on. To your story. I'm anxious to hear it. No? Well, perhaps another day then. Excuse me, do you mind if... Thank you. Busy today, isn't it? Tell me, did you see that young man on your way in? With the sad brown eyes? He was begging for change. I didn't give him any. I think he may have an unfortunate taste for heroin. I suppose you saw the ambulances. Nasty business. This poor boy was distraught about it. Saw the whole thing. Watched as the vehicles collided, missing him by inches, as the bodies were cut from the wreckage. It was him that had caused it, he said. He was cursed. He started crying, right there on the street. And then he told me a story. Claims he was a soldier in Afghanistan. It's a pretty hostile place. 2,500 years of spilt blood is bound to result in a certain number of wandering spirits, isn't it? It was Christmas Eve. His unit was stranded in an outpost high in the mountains as the snows came down. Tempers running high, and, well, you can never tell with people like that, can you? But he said that what I'm about to tell you is true. I hope he was lying. That was a very brave thing to do, don't you think? Even if it didn't go quite as planned. The mine went off too early, you see. But still, a very brave thing to do. Oh, they were killed, of course, by the blast. All of them. The enemy soldiers, Lieutenant Jarvis and Private Nisbet. But there was one survivor. Our friend out there, Rashid, was thrown clear and sustained no injuries. A landmine exploded in his hands and he walked away without a scratch. Good bit of luck, that, I suppose. Depending on how you look at it. Anyway, you'll see him on the way out. The young Asian man with the sad brown eyes. Chasing death at the end of a needle. He can't find it anywhere else, you see. Stop and say hello, if you have a minute. Only, I wouldn't get too close. And if you do, just be careful on your way home. Won't you?